Made it 14 city blocks without breathing. Light breaks from the left and hits between the buildings. Stoplights change their name from green to red to green again. Love has its critics, but they never keep anything. It's alright, this could be a long night. Hold tight, this is not a fair fight. Children died and left you in a fall you cannot forget. You were too young, you said not yet, not yet, not yet. That year the cherries choked from pretty pink to red to brown. You looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. It's alright, this could be a long night. So hold tight, this is not a fair fight. It's alright, this could be a rough night. It's alright, this is not a fair fight.
That's approximately the entire population of the islands of Fiji. Tsunamis, flooding, landslides, lack of clean water, and disease, just to name a few. How does this pertain to us? To answer this, we must understand our risk. In the United States, the frequency of earthquakes occurring is actually very high, with earthquakes being observed daily. However, the frequency of a major earthquake occurring is much lower, and therefore affects our perception of risk. Within our borders, the most recent deaths related to an earthquake were in 2003 in Central California when 2 people died, and the largest number of deaths within the U.S. recorded since 1811 was 3,000 during the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. But even California residents may not fully perceive what could happen, and what about the rest of the United States? There are fault lines around the country that are equally as dangerous as California's San Andreas Fault. People living in areas surrounding the New Madrid Fault line in the central U.S., the Ramapo Fault in the northeast, and regions in the northwest, South Carolina, Alaska, and Hawaii have a high probability of experiencing a large earthquake in the near future. As it turns out, we have nuclear reactors just like the ones in Japan, and our probability of an earthquake damaging them, on average, is 1 in 74,176. But the reactor with the highest risk has a 1 in 10,000 chance of an earthquake causing core damage. And that reactor is not in California, where one would expect, but rather on the East Coast, 24 miles north of New York City. And our risk for landslides as a result of an earthquake are equally problematic. Due to the rapid expansion of urban and recreational developments into hillsides across the U.S., and especially in high-risk earthquake areas, we face a significant likelihood of experiencing a landslide. Because many of us do not perceive the likelihood and consequences that we face in regards to earthquakes, it can reasonably be assumed that we are underprepared. To prepare for an earthquake include the operation of agencies such as FEMA, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and the National Guard. Additionally, there are trained emergency responders and emergency operation plans at every level of government. Despite these intentions, there are still many deficiencies in preparedness.